With the Ontario legislature rising this week, we want to talk about some of the areas that the government focused on. What were their priorities? What was passed? What was done in the legislature, as well as what we can expect coming up in the winter session in 2021.
So the government has been busy. So they passed 36 pieces of legislation in the past session. Now, almost all of them, to note, are just enacting emergency measures they had previously announced during COVID response as part of their daily announcements. So it's just enacting and empowering them to actually make moves and put it into law. The biggest piece of legislation obviously was the fall budget that got delayed from the spring. Most of that is their COVID response and I guess shirking away the balanced budget that was the original promise when they first got elected.
And I think what you're going to see next year is, as COVID spending becomes more articulated in terms of what is permanent related to pandemic solutions and what is ending or sunsetting, as they call it, then you will see them continue to move along the way they intended to pre-COVID to have a plan to get this back to balance. I don't believe it'll be within the mandate before the election in June 2022, but I think they're anxious to say this was extremely temporary and we've still got a long road ahead.
Long-term care homes continue to be a disaster. Yes, I know it's a national problem, but for the province of Ontario, this great province, to watch this happen, we're now looking at 45 people died last night. It's just a terrible, terrible scourge on the province.
It's scary to see the situation in the long-term care homes, notwithstanding COVID. And I think people are, like I said, are finally seeing behind the curtain and seeing what's going on, and it scares people.
I think the big thing, though, heading into 2021, especially long-term care homes, their top priority on the vaccination list. Toronto and Ottawa are getting vaccines next Tuesday. Ottawa's plan is to bring the vaccines to the long-term care homes and ensure that plan works and that the logistics surrounding vaccinating homes works, especially in Ottawa where they've had a big issue. And that plan, and once the wrinkles are ironed out, will be brought across the rest of the province. And this is in conjunction with ensuring that frontline, vulnerable, and Indigenous communities are the first to receive the vaccine.
But the other issue I throw out at the team is cities. Ontario's municipal sector, report out of Toronto today, they're billions of dollars in debt. I just want, any city that's running a transit system now has been absolutely devastated financially and how they're going to respond. Just curious, I'm very concerned how the Premier and his team are going to respond to their number one biggest stakeholder, and that's the municipal sector, who come cap in hand every budget day saying, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Ken, you're exactly right. The transit, we don't know that we'll ever see the same revenue generation from public transit because there may be less people using it in perpetuity, and that is a massive challenge. And I do know that the government is seized with these questions. What they'll do about it yet, they've not exactly forecast. There's going to be some unbelievable provincial municipal interactions over the next couple of years, and I'm getting my popcorn to watch.
The other thing to note, though, is the government has already designated 2021 the year of the staycation, to stay in Ontario, to keep your money in province, to spend money, go to the different areas. Ski resorts are going to be opening up now that the weather is dipping down below zero to make snow. So there's going to be a lot of people moving about the province, but staying within the province, especially with Manitoba having quarantine rules, the entire East Coast having its own quarantine block rules. So there's going to be a lot more movement in 2021.
I think they've got what I've seen, a very good vaccination management program. The vaccines are coming. You can't find a better, more capable individual than General Rick Hillier. And I think, Aaron, in terms of all those huge financial issues you've just raised, I think the best way to resolve a lot of this is to get the people of Ontario vaccinated.
So essentially what I'm hearing from Maddy and Ken is the Ontario economy needs a good shot in the arm.
It does.
Yes.